I do want to mention, Dave, you're here promoting your new movie. You're not just a musician, not a comedian, not just a man about town. You're an actor as well. The movie is called
greats.
the movie is called Drunk Bus.
Yes.
And you really have to stretch in this movie. You play Devo Ted, and you're a pothead / drug dealer.
Yes.
And if there's one thing I know about Dave Hill is you've only smoked pot once, according to one of your essays, and it did not go well.
Once,
and you never wanted to do it again. So was it a challenge to act as a stoner?
It honestly was, because I think there is a scene in the movie where I'm smoking pot, marijuanas, and also, not to pull back the curtain on Hollywood, but this was, I've been in a few movies, no blockbusters, but I've been in a few movies, been on many TV shows, and I thought, well, this is it. This seems like there's a few $1 million floating around. I'm going to smoke pot. I wonder how this is done. And I was waiting for like some team of fake pot smoke handlers to rush onto the set. And all we did was Charlie Tahan, who's one of the stars of the movie along with Pineapple Tangaroa, Charlie from the hit series Ozark, of course, one of the best shows on TV, or whatever you call it when you watch stuff now. Anyway, he was vaping. I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. He was vaping constantly, or more than I vape, which is to say never. And when it came time for me to pretend to be, I'm trying to make this story as long as possible. It's the biggest. I'm just working it out. Anyway,
we have to wrap up now, Dave.
We are just about out of time. But all that happened was like, okay, Dave, hey, can you just borrow Charlie's vape for the pot smoking scene? I just, right before we started rolling, that's movie lingo, of course.
Well, in this case, it could be rolling a joint.
Yeah, exactly.
Roll that vape.
He handed me his vape, and I just inhaled a bunch of the vape, and then when they said action, which is more movie lingo, I just blew the vape all over the place.
Oh, see, that was one of my questions. Is that like some advanced CGI? Did you refuse to actually do it? But this is big.
I would have smoked. I think at that point I honestly had yet to smoke pot when we shot the hit movie Drunk Bus. I think I smoked it shortly afterwards or something. So I didn't really know. That's when the craft comes in, Rob. That's when that was real acting. I was like, what do people I've seen smoke pot act like? Not, I mean, in maybe in college or something. Giggle. Right. I don't know how would you say, as a pot smoker, if I may be so bold?
Yes, no, I am a cannabis connoisseur.
Would you say in the hit movie Drunk Bus, would you say my acting was convincing as a stoned person?
Absolutely. And I feel the conversation you guys had about Devo was very much a stoned conversation. I don't want to.
Oh wow, this feels good. Yeah. So I really had to dig deep, but then I did. Yeah, I tried marijuana shortly after that.
So you've smoked it now twice.
No, I've only smoked it once. I think when we did the movie, I had yet to smoke it.
Oh, I thought you wrote an essay about how, like, in one of your hit-selling books, about how you were once past a joint and you thought it was a cigarette and you took a puff. Did
I really write about that? That is something that. No, you're right. You're 1,000% right. I accidentally smoked pot before that. Yeah, you're right. But
this is your first intentional pot smoking.
Yeah.
First intentional all in. The other time I did it the first time accidentally. I thought it was just a hand-rolled cigarette when it was just, I guess, a spliff, as it's called in the industry.
Yes.
And I had already had about 75 drinks at this point, but I could still tell something that was like, oh, that wasn't a cigarette. That was something else.
It's a funny
cigarette.
cigarette.
I imagine,
Yeah.
like, I feel like if you had that many drinks, it's not a good idea to smoke pot, especially as a a novice of the drug.
No. Well, yeah. Well, as I probably told you, maybe even on this show, when I did sometime later smoke pot intentionally, I smoked a joint. I had like 4. I was in Jamaica, as I think I told you, and I drank about 4 Red Stripes. Then I smoked a joint and 2 bowls by myself. And then I was like, okay, this is definitely high, this feeling I have right now. And I just kind of hung out in my hotel room for like 2 hours waiting for the feeling to go away.